Hello and welcome back to another episode of Buy Now, Sell Now Realty TV. I'm Jeff Barnes, manager broker and owner of Buy Now, Sell Now Realty TV. And you guys know it's time for the real estate update, man, with Jeff. And guys, this is one of my privileges to do this show for you guys because everybody's talking about real estate, and I'm glad I'm in a position to where I can talk to you guys about it from a broker's perspective, as well as from a customer perspective as well, whether you're home buying or home selling. Before we get into this, guys, look down in the description. See my email there if you have questions about real estate. Follow me on all the socials, on my Instagram and my Facebook. It's all education, nothing else, just education to help you in the home buying, home selling process, nothing else. Okay. Guys, if you look down on my website in the description, it's a free property evaluation. Whether you're looking to buy a house, sell a house, pop that address in, it'll give you a free evaluation, and just a service we provide as a way to say thank you. Now, guys, today I had to get into the topic of, is this the biggest threat to home ownership or home sales or real estate for that matter, guys? Because, I do a lot of YouTube, I do a lot of digital media, and I came across this article, and politics was involved. So I don't want you guys to think I'm trying to have a political message, but it brought my research to the fact that young people are not as engaged in home ownership. Is that the biggest threat to current home sellers? Also, because guys, if young people are not buying, that's going to be a problem. Okay. It creates a problem for a lot of people if the cycle doesn't keep going, because every home seller needs a number of willing buyers. Willing buyers need inventory. And if people don't think there's going to be any buyers, they tend to just stay in the house instead of homes moving. Now, guys, we're going to jump right into this because I'm going to try to share 3 articles total with you guys if we can have the time. But I want to jump right into this. I saw this article over here on Fox News. And again, guys, this is not a political thing. I'm going to read this article because it was crazy on how it was positioned. Okay. Now, here we go, guys. We're over here at Fox. Charlie Kirk sounds the alarm on the biggest threat to Republicans holding the White House in 2028. And guys, I can tell you, I watch MSNBC, I watch Fox, I watch CNN, I watch Daily Mail, BBC, Guardian, all of that, right? I'm a news junkie, but this one got me. Conservative media personality warns Republicans must deliver on promises of ownership for next generation. You guys can see Charlie Kirk and Trump. Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk cautioned Friday that Republican Party risks losing support from the same young voters who propelled Donald Trump to the White House if it fails to follow through on key promises. The biggest threat to the Republican Party in 2028 if we do not deliver on our promises of home ownership for the next generation, Kirk told Fox News Digital in an interview at the Turning Point Student Action Summit in Tampa. The youth vote didn't just vote for Donald Trump. Young voters put Donald Trump in the White House. Kirk discussed the future of the conservative movement, why Generation Z is trending rightward, and why tech giants are suddenly showing interest in engaging with the Republicans. Okay? Now, here's what happens, guys. Let me go ahead and go. He talked about some other things, COVID, all that right now. I want to get to this. This paragraph right here. If we don't fix the home ownership problem in this country, the cost of living crisis, and if we don't give the next generation a chance at being homeowners and not renters, we are going to see what I call Mamdaniism spread across the country. Okay, guys? We know about the mayor. The mayor election in New York. We talked about that on a previous video. He said, so we must deliver for this cohort. We must show them that their lives are tangibly better, guys, or else in 2028, we're going to be in a much more competitive race than I'd like to be. Now, right? So one of the things I want to get out of here, guys, let's get back over here. Why did I share that article with you? Guys, Turning Point USA is the biggest youth conservative movement, and they're right here in Tampa. So this is why, I'm in Tampa, obviously. They're right here in Tampa. And this is what they're talking about. conservative kids are wanting to be homeowners, but most of them are forced to rent. Why is this a threat, guys? Why is this a threat? If you don't have kids looking to buy a house, how else or what else are they going to work toward? Because right now, guys, like he said in the article, and you can go read it, COVID changed a lot of things for these kids. And they got used to staying in the house that somebody else was paying for. A lot of children now are either, it's a bunch of them in one house that they're renting, or they're still staying with their parents and there's no push to get out. This is a bad problem for real estate. This is a bad problem for brokers. This is a bad problem for home sellers, right? Because if young people are not entering, and I'm gonna tell you who it's really gonna hurt. It's really hurting new construction. Guys, my first house was a new construction house for first-time home buyers. They specifically targeted first-time home buyers with these new construction, what we call starter homes. Well, now, guys, this is about to be a domino effect. And why is it a threat, guys? Because at the end of the day, until the interest rates can drop on mortgages, like he said in the article, until some prices on some everyday things can come down, because that's what allowed you to buy a house, guys. Gas was not $3 and $4. Milk was not $5. Steaks were not $22 for a nice ribeye, right? If you can get those prices down, people can put money toward a house. And so, guys, I came across this other article, and I'm telling you guys, for home buyers and home sellers who watch my video, you're gonna see this, guys. When this thing was brought to the forefront, if these young people don't have nothing to work to, like home ownership and all this kind of stuff, you're gonna have a generation that doesn't have responsibility, doesn't have legacy, doesn't have equity, all these kind of things, and that poses a real threat to the country as well. I got another article I want to share with you guys. We're going over here to USA Today, because here's the deal. If you're a parent that's trying to help your kid or help your child get a home, if you're a young person watching this video, I'm over here at USA Today, guys, and this article came out in May of 2025. So this has been a conversation that's out there. Young people's confidence around home buying is crushed. How some manage to make it work. Now we're gonna read through this real fast. Many young people feel crushed when they think about their ability to buy a home, but it doesn't mean they're giving up on their dream. The average age of first-time home buyers rose an all-time high of 38 last year. The age now, 38 of first-time home buyers. In a market where baby boomers have the upper hand and ability to pay cash, the share of first-time home buyers sank to an all-time low of 24%, according to the National Association of Realtors. The reality is young people feeling jealous. More than 6 in 10 Gen Z and millennial non-homeowners said they're envious of peers who bought homes. Despite their desire, 61% of non-homeowners are less confident they'll ever own than they were at the peak of COVID-19 pandemic. And over half said they feel they've missed their opportunity. It's little wonder why, thanks to high mortgage rates and home prices, Americans today need to earn about 70% more than they did 6 years ago to comfortably afford a median price home, according to Realtor.com, April 2025 monthly housing market trend. Paul Dilda, head of U.S. consumer strategy at BMO, said economic and market uncertainty is helping make the home buying process less daunting. Relatively high interest rates, persistent inflation, and higher housing costs have created what we call the perfect storm of confusion for home buyers. At other times, it was perhaps easier. Lower inflation, lower housing costs, lower rates would have made it easier. Maybe people just transitioned. They didn't really need a plan because it wasn't as complex and nuanced. But now he said if you want to own a home, having a solid plan is more important than ever. Now, here's what I would tell you guys. This is going to be my last one. To buy a house at the national median list price of $431,000, a household needs to earn $114,000 a year. It assumes a 30-year fixed mortgage, 20% down payment, and the buyer adhering to conventional wisdom. They should not spend more than 30% of their gross income on housing, guys. Why did I pull that email? Why did I pull that website out? Guys, here's the problem. You can't have an old mindset when it comes to buying a house. Okay? Now, we don't control who drops the interest rates. The feds control that. Y'all can see, if you follow politics at all, Donald Trump is begging Jerome Powell to drop the rates and that kind of thing. But what's killing it, guys, if we can get the interest rate down, young people will have a chance. $431,000 is only expensive because the interest rate. And I hate to say it to you guys, most people don't look at the price because they're gonna finance it anyway. What they look at is that monthly payment. And if that interest rate is too high, it doesn't matter that it's fully deductible or anything like that. People look at payments. And if you look at payments, and then guys, that's not even to include the insurance crisis we got down here in Tampa, in Florida, because nobody wants to insure. So we're not even talking about taxes and insurance on top of that. And so how is this, if you're a young person today, if you're still operating conservatively and traditionally on how your parents bought a house, it's not, guys, that's not gonna happen. And I hate to say it because one of the things that needs to happen is you can't control the market. Where we got to focus on with these young people is, I hate to say it, they're going to have to get different types of jobs. If your job is rooted in more of a traditional American job, it's going to be tough to buy a house. Guys, with the young people you see buying homes are those that are doing the jobs that are based on the information age, technology age, social media, all that kind of stuff. They're going to the masses. And I hate to say it, but that's what, even if you drop the interest rate and your payment drops by, let's just say 30%. Okay, you still got to have the money because the sellers are not going to drop their price. The market is what it is. So what we got to do with young people is, the way Trump can deliver on home ownership is to deliver on inflation and deliver on jobs that are based around now. Technology jobs, that kind of thing, the jobs that pay more. Some of these guys may end up doing social media influencers and stuff like that. And for my generation who would be told that's not a real job, those guys are out there making the money and they're not impacted by this. It's people who have taken the traditional route, that's going to college or not going to college, picking up a trade, going to college and graduating, and then going into a corporate America job to work your way up. Guys, inflation and rates, interest rates have outpaced all that. That's why you feel like you can't get ahead, and you may be renting, or you may be staying with your parents still. But that's why I did the previous video that said rent to own. And if you rent to own, guys, that might be another way to do it as well. Now, guys, I'm gonna finish up with this last article. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I want, if you're a young person watching this, or if you're a parent of somebody who's trying to buy, I just want to give y'all this before we get out of here. Okay, I'm over here at bodyteam.com, a real estate page. Again, it's from August 13, 2022. But guys, it's still a good article. Let me go over these 8 reasons to buy a house and why you shouldn't be afraid to. Okay, I'm gonna just get to the 8 for the sake of time. Number 1, buying a house young means you gain equity earlier. One of the things you guys got to understand is, when I bought my first house, it's a sacrifice. You're not gonna buy a house and not feel your income suffer if you're like most of us when you first buy it. It is a sacrifice, and that's what you got to realize. You are buying something for down the road. If you're buying something for down the road, not necessarily immediate gratification, now your finances will be stretched for sure, because what you're going to have to do to get in it is going to make you sacrifice. Number 2, buying a house young gives your property more time to appreciate, right? You always want to get young. And also too, guys, for the most part, if you go into a neighborhood, buy the cheapest house in the most expensive neighborhood, right? That's how you really get appreciation. Don't go in there and buy the nicest house in the nicest neighborhood, because you don't get appreciation. But buying a house young gives you more time for your house to appreciate. Number 3, buying a house young gives you collateral for a second home. Okay, buying a house young gives you collateral for a second home. When you walk into the bank and need a loan and they want collateral, real estate is always a good collateral. But also too, guys, if you're looking to get a brick and mortar business, having a home makes a difference. Number 4, which gives you the opportunity to make passive income, right? A home is great collateral to launch out on some things you want to do to make passive income. Although I will tell you now, guys, I don't know if I necessarily believe in passive income. All income, because of inflation and all this stuff, all income is causing us to work. All income is causing you to work. Even if you're investing in the stock market, you're working more so that you can put more money in the stock market to get that passive income. So that passive income is not as easy as it used to come. Number 5, buying a house young predicts you from rent increases and inflation. And one of the things you guys are going to see is, yeah, it locks you in. But a lot of times with these interest rates being so high, guys, some people are having to do adjustable rates, all that kind of stuff. So this right here is not as important. Back in the day, it actually protected you from it. But right now, guys, renting and owning, it that inflation is affecting everybody. I mean, affecting everybody. Number six, buying a house young helps you build your credit. That's true, guys. But if you build the credit, if you're looking to build credit, make sure you just pay on time. They give you a window, but make sure you pay on time. Number seven, you have less financial commitments when you were young. Hopefully. They should have put that in parentheses. Hopefully, right? Student loan debt, car loan debt, credit card debt. You know, there's that's not because inflation is happening, guys. People are doing everything they can just to stay afloat. Okay. But finally, number eight, buying a home forces you to save money, right? Guys, look, psychologically, you will not spend reckless when you know you own a home. You don't care about an apartment because that's not yours, but you do mentally care about the house. So it does force you to save money, but I'm going to say it forces you to think about some of those splurging things you may do. It forces you to save money, but what it's really doing is forcing you to grow up. All those things you used to do until you can get your money right when you first get out, you ain't gonna do it no more because the house takes precedent over everything. Now, I want to share with you guys that simply because what I try to do on this channel is give you guys resources you can use. What I also know, guys, is people struggle with the fact of if you want it bad enough, you'll figure out a way to pay for it. What we got to focus on is the things we can control. If you have a job that's not paying you enough to buy a house, start looking for another job or start looking for side businesses online that you can do that can be done anytime, anywhere. Guys, we are in a digital environment, and is not, if you're not creating revenue from some type of a digital format, inflation is outpacing your ability to earn. And everybody who has a quote unquote traditional job, those jobs are switching to technology based things, which means you don't even feel comfortable in your job security right now. So, guys, I will tell you, this is the biggest threat to real estate right now. They're not lying. I think it's a bigger threat. I know Charlie Kirk made it about Donald Trump getting reelected. This is the biggest threat to real estate, the biggest threat to the whole economy. And so, guys, look, we need to encourage young people to really get into some professions and some revenue generating businesses that can help them keep up with the pace. Because, guys, I knew when inflation started, why are people, ain't nobody going to be rushing to drop the prices on anything because they've seen that the market is willing to pay it. So what we got to do is keep recognizing that, unfortunately, we're going to have to get out here, grind, work, and do all it takes because rent's going up too. Rent's paying just as much. Rent is being charged just as much as mortgages are. And guess what, guys? Parents ain't pushing kids out of the house. Parents are enjoying having the kids in the house because at the end of the day, guys, some people believe in that family first. They like that feeling of family. And you're not being pushed out of the nest like it happened to us back in the day. So you guys get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this phenomenon of young people not being able to buy. And the average age of a first-time home buyer is now in the late 30s. Guys, do you think it's a problem, or do you think, hey, the market will correct itself? Real estate always ends up doing what real estate does, man. And once again, I want to thank you guys for joining in to another episode of Buy Now, Sell Now Realty TV. I'm Jeff Barnes. Y'all do me a favor, get down in the description, follow me on all the socials, send me an email if you have questions about real estate, especially Florida real estate. And of course, that free property valuation tool is linked in the description. And guys, until next week, take care, man, and enjoy your real estate journey. Signing off and make it a good week.